Hello there, and welcome to the Standpoint. Very soon, August is coming to an end. Can you believe it? Just some few days more. How has the year been so far? Anyway, today I always have a show for you. Today we are talking about iron deficiency. Live strong with iron. Why we need iron in our system. Listen, we live in a period where immunity, your immune system means everything. Boosting your immune system means everything. So today we are going to talk about why you need iron in your system and why you need to eat iron-rich foods and foods fortified with iron. Live strong with iron. Well, welcome to the Standpoint, and it's going to be educational, it's going to be informative, it's going to be entertaining. But let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is new style. Up the top is fellow Ghanaians, and the down is lockdown. Beautifully combined by Ophelia Crossland Design. Thank you so much to them. And of course, the cloth is by GTP. Fellow Ghanaians, there's a lockdown. No, the lockdown is over. But that's the combination, I have today. But let me say thank you to, of course, Nax Beauty Studio for my makeup. And of course, I fix my hair at Exotic Trades. We take a break. When we come back, we are going to tell you why you need to live strong with iron. We'll be back. Hello there, welcome back to the Standpoint. Yet today we are talking about why you need to live strong with iron. I've told you this period is very sensitive. We are in a pandemic and our immune system is everything. And we are going to talk just about that. This program is sponsored by Live Strong with Iron. I'm supposed to tell you, but I have the expert herself here to talk about that, so I won't take too much of her time, but to go straight on and introduce her. She is Professor Matilda Steiner Asiedu. She's a professor of nutrition and a public health expert, former dean of the School of Biological Sciences, yes. University of Ghana. Yeah. She's. There's a lot we can talk about, but today we are going to talk about why we need to live strong with iron. Good to have you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
How do you assess the situation we are in now with, everybody talking about the need to boost our immune system? Because it looks like the only way we can fight this COVID-19 is to have a strong immune system.
Yes. To boost our immune system is essential if we need to combat COVID-19. And not only COVID-19, but all other infectious diseases. Eating well, eating from all the food groups, and most importantly, the vitamins and the minerals, which iron is part of, very, very important. Because all bodily reactions, you need this micronutrients, that is the vitamins and minerals, which iron is part. They are essential for all bodily processes.
But Prof, we Ghanaians, when we are eating, we don't take these things, the minerals and the iron, and we just eat because we have to eat.
Yes, but that is
we eat for survival.
Exactly, and that it shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. We should eat to remain healthy so that even at old age, we'll still be healthy. Our vitality will be excellent. Our blood composition will be excellent. So it is important that we make sure that every day we eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. It should be part of our diet every day. So we cannot do away with them. And in Ghana, we have a lot of them. We have different varieties that no one has any excuse for not eating fruits and vegetables a day.
Growing up, that was the same. But somehow we seem to have lost it.
Exactly.
Especially the eating of the fruits, the fresh fruits.
Exactly.
We all want the processed juices.
Exactly. And this is all because of globalization of our market systems. The world is getting smaller and smaller. We are getting imports. And Ghanaians, we are trying to shy away with our traditional way of eating and the things we used to do and trying to copy those from the West. Okay. Those from the West, they have gone through what we call the nutrition transition. And they've seen all the health impact, the negative health impact that they are going through. So they are shying away, and now they are eating more fruits and vegetables. But Ghanaians, when they stop, then we try to take it. And it is surprising to know that because Ghana is the gateway to Africa, whatever Ghanaians start south of the Sahara, they copy, you know. But we've lost it. But Sankofa is not a mistake. We can go back to our traditional ways and then start from there again. It is never late.
Is it easy to get us to go back to our traditional ways to Sankofa?
Yes, it is easy. It is easy because look at what is happening now. Now we have a lot of vegetables, a lot of green leafy vegetables, which are rich in vital minerals and iron. The iron that we are talking about is so essential in these green leafy vegetables. We have some, and you don't even need to buy them. For example, what the Ghanaians call boko boko, which is water leaf, and then dandelion. They grow well. They are all over anywhere. You don't need to buy them. And I always tell people, don't feel shy. Just bend down and pick them up. You know, you are saving money that you can use even to buy meat or fish or eggs, which are also very, very essential if you need to utilize the iron properly.
So, you keep stressing on the iron, and that's why we're doing this. I think research has shown a staggering, you know, statistics of the number of Ghanaians who suffer from iron deficiency.
Yeah.
What has caused this?
Yeah, it's all because of the way we eat. First of all, diet plays an important role. And then the quality of the diet is also very, very important. And then we know that infections also play an important role because when you have, for example, malaria, which is very common, the microbes also use iron for their own metabolism. So most of the time when somebody has malaria, it also causes the person to go low on iron. So the person becomes anemic and any other infection. So it is very, very important that we make sure that every time we have enough, we are in good standing. So if there's any infection, at least you can survive it and you will not go to the extremes of iron deficiency.
So so then I get the impression that the iron is a very important mineral that we need.
Sure, it is very, very important. It's very, very important. It plays an important role in all processes in the body. All processes in the body. The most important, you know that everything that we eat, it is absorbed and it goes through the blood for circulation. So if you don't have iron, what it means that you can't form enough blood. Because iron is critical in forming the protein substance called hemoglobin. Iron is integral there. So without iron, you cannot form hemoglobin.
Now that brings to mind the age group of reproductive health, you know, age group, who especially the women, you know, so I guess women, we need iron even more.
Women.
Because you go through that period where you have your menses every month where you know, you shed blood, there's blood flow. So that means we have to increase, you know, our intake of iron, right?
Exactly. And when you look at the global picture, iron deficiency anemia is skewed towards women, and it is global. It is not only in Africa. But for us in Africa and Ghana specifically, our situation is worsened because of our dietary habits and then also because of the rates of different types of infections that we have. And to make it worse is the malaria. You know, so when you look at the picture, we have about 51% of women of childbearing age globally who are suffering from iron deficiency anemia. And then we have about 48 for men. Men don't, but as we are talking about globalization, men are also now going for this, I mean, this all kinds of junk foods, you know. I mean, fried rice, which I called angwamu, there's nothing in it, but when people are eating it, they think they are eating something good. You know?
High class.
You know, so these are the issues. So we see that women of childbearing age, you know, once you start the menses, then it means you are at a risk of iron deficiency anemia if one is not eating properly with the grains and then also not eating animal source foods. Then becomes an issue.
Why have you taken too long in telling us this? I didn't know when I was growing up that his boss says, You've been talking about it, or we have not been listening.
Yes, with the Ghanaian, it's very difficult to change, and that has been a major issue for us. But we are doing our best, and I'm so thankful that Nestle has seen this, and they've really taken it up to help us to combat this and to save lives of women.
Yeah, I want us to we'll look at the various groups that are in, danger or at risk, let me put it, at risk. But let's drill a bit more on the reproductive age.
Yeah.
Because that is the age that we have to feed them right. But unfortunately, they are the ones that we feed them wrong. Those in their teens, when they start blood, and their blood flow is quite frequent and even more regular and heavy than as you age. But they are a group that we ignore.
Sure. Yeah, the adolescent child, the girl child, I mean, before that, before the menses, they are just like the men. You have the same thing, nothing is. But once they start the menses, it is very, very important that we look at what they are eating. Of course, at that age, they want to decide, but this is where they need a little bit of counseling. Mothers should know how to talk to them. And it's not only mothers, I think fathers, because it takes two to bring a child into them. So the fathers should also be involved, that they sit them down, let them know that it is what you eat. That's why we say normally, you are what you eat. So what the foods that they will need to help them to grow properly, it is very, very essential. And I also see that, sometimes in our part of the world, pregnancy is not planned. So it is always important that the woman is in good standing when it comes to iron, so that in case she becomes pregnant, she can stand it. So this has been some of the issues that have been causing high maternal mortality in the country.
Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll dwell more on this pregnancy and iron deficiency and its resultant risk of maternal mortality. That's I don't think we've talked much about, as a nation, the role iron deficiency plays in maternal mortality. Thank you very much for bringing that up. We'll take a break. When we come out, continue this. But before then, let me say thank you to our supporters. Go-Got Yogurt. As a woman, yogurt is very good for you. And if you have to go for yogurt, it has to be Go-Got Yogurt. Thank you to Awake Purified Mineral Water and Royal Drinks by Casa Preco Company Limited. House of Food. Auntie Vera. Yes, I know you use fortified, oils and spices and everything. You need to I know you. I trust you that you'll be using that. So thank you to Kodam's Gift and Stationery for supporting us. Yep Cleaning Services. They make sure our environment is very, very, very clean every time we have a recording. Our website, www.standpoint.com.gh, is powered by Dream Over. Remember, this program is aired on 5 platforms. Joy Prime on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. EBN TV on Saturdays at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on Facebook Live and on YouTube, and then on our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh. Hey, the month is ending quick. Have you taken advantage of the promo? That special promo for my books, all three books for 100 cities. All 3 books for 100 cities. If you know you haven't taken advantage of it, quick, because on 31st of August, as I get close, we are going back to all 3 for 120. I need to get my 20 cities back. So take advantage of the days that are left and grab your copies now. A bit of me, the best of you, and 50 nuggets at 50. Call 0543-618182 or any of our vendors. We'll be back. This program is sponsored by Left Strong with Iron, making sure that every single Ghanaian is fortified with iron, if I can put it that way. But we eat foods rich in iron and foods that are fortified with iron. If you're going out to buy the oils, your spices, so just make sure you see there, fortified with iron, because iron, as we're talking about, it's a very essential mineral for the survival, especially for the well-being of women, to boost our immunity and also help us survive and live longer and stronger. But I can't say much more than my guest, who is a specialist in that area, food. And she is a nutritionist, you know, a professor in nutrition. Prof.
Yes.
Let me digress a bit. Why did you decide to go into that?
Into nutrition?
Nutrition.
Okay, I know any science students, you want to do medicine and all that. So where did I schooled at St. Monica's, Ashanti Mampon. Yeah, we didn't.
You say it with pride.
Yes, you know, it was very difficult over there. That time we had the nuns who were helping us and they were coming, but then the government sacked them that time. Okay. So nobody wanted to come there. And so those of us in the sciences, we started suffering. Yeah, so I was disappointed for not getting the chance to go to medical school. But I said, all things work for the good of the Lord. Yeah. And I said, okay, then let me take nutrition or extension, because I have the passion to work with human beings, see a change. Right. So that has been my drive. So everything is about my passion. I don't look at what is there about. It's not about money. It's not about who you are, but it's about my passion. Touching life, then I am fulfilled.
And thank God you did nutrition, because now we are benefiting from it. And I am learning a lot. Before we went for the break, you touched on the issue of, you know, pregnancy and the danger of losing the lives of a mother and a baby, or a baby, due to iron deficiency.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, you know, for blood formation, iron is one of the nutrients that you need. It is so critical. But as I said, we get iron from two main food sources, from plant source. Plant source, we have the iron, what we call iron 3. The body cannot use the iron 3. It cannot absorb. It has to be converted from iron 3 to iron 2. And for iron 3 conversion to iron 2, you need vitamin C. Okay. So that is why we are saying when you are eating the legumes and then the green leafy vegetables, you need some orange to go with it to help in the conversion of the iron 3 to iron 2. Okay. Yeah, and we know that in Ghana, majority of our people can afford the green leafy vegetables or the legumes, that is the beans and the rest. But when it comes to meat and fish and meat products, we have what the iron 2 is there. So that one, you don't need any conversion. Okay. But majority of our people cannot afford that. That is why we are saying that, okay, use the plant sources. But then research has also shown that if you want to, you use the plant source and then you have the vitamin C, you need a little bit of animal source. And that enhances the absorption of the plant source. So we are saying that a little bit of anchovy powder, even if you sprinkle it in the stew, the contemporary stew or the bean stew, it will help. Any of the green leafy vegetables can be made into stew. You know, and we eat all the greens. We eat cassava leaves, they are wonderful. Sweet potato leaves, they are wonderful. Okra leaves are wonderful. All the greens, yes, they are wonderful. I remember when we were in school, St. Monica's, they were giving us cassava leaves, yes. So all these things are edible. You know, so we have quite a lot around us that we can get the iron from.
So when you eat beans, don't think that, yes, beans has iron, so it's okay, you don't need fruits. But when you eat the beans, you need to add some animal-based product or fruits. Exactly. That's an orange.
Exactly. And you might have heard an orange a day will keep you away from the doctor. Okay. You know, so if you have the orange with the beans, you eat your beans, it's your dessert.
Those of us who don't take the orange.
If you don't take orange, any of the citrus fruits will do. Any of the citrus, if you have pawpaw, yes, if you are not allergic, any of them will do. Apple is not rich in vitamin C. Okay. You know, so if you look back, or if you like try it, when you bite apple and you leave it, see that it turns brown in no time. Yes. It's because of the lack of vitamin C, but it is rich in other important nutrients and fiber. Yeah, so apple is not a good source. So I always tell people that why waste that a lot of money to buy apple? Apple is imported, so you are paying for the freight and everything. But our local oranges are wonderful. We have pawpaws, they are there, mangoes, they are all very good. And even if you should use the colored ones.
And they're also rich in vitamin C.
Vitamin A. And then they're also rich in vitamin C and vitamin A. And vitamin A is also needed to boost the utilization of the iron. Okay. You know, so you get a double portion if you should go for the mango or the pawpaw. Yeah. So we have quite a rich variety of fruits and rich variety of vegetables that one can easily use to get the iron. So when it comes to the pregnant woman, all these things should be advised. And then even if you cannot afford any of the meat, the chicken and all, eggs now are very, very cheap, and that is why I compare 5 cedis worth of willy and 5 cedis worth of eggs. Eggs is more valuable than the willy. So for the pregnant woman or the children who are growing, who needs the iron, it is best to use the egg instead of using willy. Willy is just something like a delicacy that people enjoy chewing, but there's nothing in that willy. And also for the pregnant woman, I wouldn't even advise that because of the polyaromatic hydrocarbons, the way they smoke the willy with the car tie and all those things. So it puts the baby at risk. Yes. So for children, even if you should give a child half the egg, the protein there is also going to boost the iron utilization, because for you to form the hemoglobin of the red blood cell, the hemoglobin, you need some amount of protein to attach to form the hemoglobin. Right. So without protein, so if you eat the iron and you lack protein, you can't form the blood. Right. So that is why it is wise to use eggs instead of using the willy, which there is nothing in it.
So we must make deliberate, effort to eat a well-balanced meal.
Exactly. And we have everything. I mean, it's just a matter of understanding the dynamics on the market, meal planning, and then knowing where to buy, how to buy, and what to buy with your limited budget. So I said that if every Ghanaian understands the importance of the various food groups, I don't think we'll have a challenge, because everything is on the market that with limited budget, everybody can eat and eat well.
And it's more dangerous, I think, I read somewhere that, I am an influencer for this Left Strong with Iron. And part of my read-up, I realized that it's quite dangerous for pregnant women to be, to have an iron deficiency, because then it affects not just the mother, and the baby as well.
Sure. Yes, it will affect the mother.
The baby, yeah.
Yes, and it also affects the baby. So sometimes when the baby is born, sometimes immediately the baby is put on a syrup, iron syrup, But this can be avoided if the mother is eating very well. And when you look at the statistics, Ghana, we are just above the public health threshold. Anything that is above 40% of the population is a call for worrying. And apart from the iron, we also have other vitamins that also play a role. So if you are forming the blood, you need to, apart from the iron, you also need to have vitamin B12. You also need to have folic acid, and then you also need the protein to do that. That is why you cannot just isolate the iron, but eating well, where you have the protein, you also have the folic acid, you also have the B12. And for the folic acid too, you can get it from the greens, So eating the greens is like you are using one stone to kill so many birds.
Right.
One stone to kill so many birds. So it is very, very important, that we encourage our women during pregnancy to be eating a lot of greens. Yeah. And it is wonderful, especially when you make bean stew and then you cut greens and you put, it is richer and it is wonderful for the pregnant woman. So with that, and then maybe half an egg, it's complete. She's going to form wonderful blood.
Prof, how can a pregnant woman know that she's suffering from, iron deficiency or she lacks iron?
First of all, she will feel dizzy. She will also feel very tired easily, and if one is very observant, you see that your palms are pale, and then under your eyes too is very pale. But if the woman is going for regular antenatal checkup, they always check the HB, and that will let you know. And one thing that we should know is that the moment they check the HB and the HB is low, then it tells you that you have been iron deficient long ago, because there are 3 stages. So when we see the deficiency, when we do the HB status or the hemoglobin status, then it means you have been deficient long ago. But to check whether every day one will check, it's a long process and it is costly. That is why we always use the HB, which as a proxy acid. So that tells you the situation as it is now. But if one should really think back, for you to have reached that stage, it means that you have not been eating well over a very long period of time. Or even if you are eating well, maybe there are other underlying infections and so forth. And then also when there is any blood loss, that will also cause the blood volume and the HB to go very low.
Wow. A lot to digest, isn't it? We take a lot of things for granted.
Exactly.
You know, it just constant headaches and, you know, weakness, and we think that, you know, it's one of those things.
It's not every headache that is paracetamol.
Thank you. Okay, it's not every headache that is paracetamol. There are some headaches that are iron.
Exactly.
They need iron.
Yeah. Because the brain is not getting enough oxygen, because it is the hemoglobin that carries oxygen to the brain.
Right.
So once the brain is not getting the oxygen, you start feeling headaches and funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, talking about the brain, I'll take it when we come back. I want us to look at, you know, the children, the school going age, because I also read that it can actually affect the academic performance.
Yeah, cognition is very, very important.
We'll take a break. We'll be back again. Let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth today. I'm wearing the combination of fellow Ghanaians and lockdown. Fellow Ghanaians, and this is lockdown. GTP, timeless. You know, so say thank you to Ophelia Crossline Design for combining and making me this beautiful dress. Thank you so much. Thank you to Nax Beauty Studio for polishing our faces. Prof and I, you see, we are looking fine. We don't lack iron. Or Prof,
No, we don't lack. We don't lack. You are energized. Iron energizes us. Yes. So.
And I'll fix my hair at Exotic Trends. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Standpoint. Again, I say thank you to our supporters, Gogot Yogurt, Awake Purified Mineral Water, Royal Drinks by Casapreco Company Limited, Juice Time, 100% free juices. But 100% free juices is good, but Prof says we need to get the raw fruit to eat sometimes.
Yeah, the fiber also boosts the digestive system. Yeah.
Okay. I miss the way we used to eat mango when we were growing up, you see. And then you make, We say thank you to House of Food, Kodams, Gift and Stationery, Yep Cleaning Services, and all our supporters. We are so grateful to all of them. Prof, iron deficiency in children.
Yeah.
It's a
major challenge in the sub-region, and Ghana is not excluded. Yeah. We see most of the time some of our children in school are not doing well. It's not that they are not doing well, it's because they are iron deficient. With iron deficiency, which results in iron deficiency anemia, the child cannot study. He feels tired easily. It affects the brain. As I told you earlier before we went on the break, oxygen is needed for the brain to function. Right. But once there is no iron, you can't form the blood. Therefore, the brain does not get the nutrients and then the oxygen that is needed for it to work. So the child feels tired easily, irritably, cannot work properly, and feel very sleepy in class. And sometimes we see teachers beating and then giving these children all kinds of names. Yeah. But that is wrong. It's because the child is anemic. Sometimes I like taking trotro just to hear what is going on, so that you are abreast with the situation in town, And there was this small boy who came early in the morning, 6:30 in the trotro. The child was having sugar cane. That is the child's breakfast. And you know how Ghanaians can also be inquisitive. They ask, where is your mother? Why are you standing here alone? And he said, my mother is a market woman, she's gone, and my father is a mason, is also gone. Then they said I should come and stand here. So the maid said he wouldn't pick the child, but then the woman needed, so no, let him come and sit on me. He sat on one woman, there was no money, and all that the boy had was sugar cane. How can this boy go to school and study with just sugar cane? No, nothing. It is just empty calories because it's sugar. Sugar is empty calories. Oh, what can the sugar do? And the sugar alone cannot even be utilized. And we see quite a number of our children like that. They are going to school. If you are lucky, you get anwamu, rice boiled with oil, and there's nothing in there. So, of course, it's just we are eating to fill the tummy. Generally, when you ask the average Ghanaian, not just children, what did you have for lunch? What did you have for dinner? They will tell you, ampesi, fufu, kenke, yam. Which tells you that is the bulk of what we are eating, but nobody mentions the vegetable stew. Nobody mentions even the meat that is in. So that it's a reflection of the way we are eating. We are not feeding our children properly. We are not feeding them properly. So all these things translate, and that is why even we are seeing performance in school generally going down. Because it is not a matter of just filling the tummy. What are we putting in the tummy? It's very, very important.
And it's a shame. That's how we treat our children. We just feel that, they are children, so anything will be all they need is, something in there for them to burn energy, run around, and that's it. But we don't make that deliberate effort to make sure. I keep coming back to this, making deliberate effort to know that we eat foods that are rich in the vitamins that are good for our very survival, health-wise.
Yeah. So if one cannot start from scratch, we also have some of the foods that are fortified. And that is where we go high class. For example, some of the cereals are fortified, like Cerelac, cornflakes, and the rest, Weetabix, and all. They are fortified with some of these, but majority cannot. So I'm saying that if you should give the child rice with contumely stew in the morning. Breakfast can be anything. It is not necessarily tea and bread. And I always tell people that when you give the child tea and bread, just tea and bread, you're just giving the child sugar-colored water, and then the bread. So it's sugar in the bread to its carbohydrates. You've not done anything. It's just like the sugar cane that the child is carrying. So even if you should give the child, put some kose in the bread as a sandwich, and the child even eats that and drinks water alone, it's better than giving the child that tea, sugar-colored, and even there isn't enough milk.
What if there's egg, fried egg
wonderful.
In the bread. Okay.
Wonderful, because the kose, you get some protein, you also get the iron there. The same thing with the eggs. You get the iron, you also get some protein. And I said earlier on, for you to form the hemoglobin, you need protein. Protein is critical. Protein is critical.
Okay.
And the iron is also very, very important when it comes to the body generating energy.
Right.
The body generating energy.
Okay.
So if you are lacking the iron, you cannot generate energy and generate enough. So it is very, very important. So anything that we do to generate energy, we need that, or is energy intensive. Right. Even men having sex, you need to energy. So if men are anemic, they also can perform. Yeah.
You hear?
So that is also very, very critical.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the men need.
Yes. So that's and this has also been conflict in marriages. Yes. So we need.
So some of the men who can't perform.
Yes.
It could be
iron deficiency. So they should also check themselves. And as a family, you should be aware and make sure that there is always greens, there's always enough beans, there's always enough. Eating beans in the morning as a breakfast, it's wonderful to give to the children, than just giving them sugar and bread. If you are buying cocoa for them, buy the kose instead of the white bread. Yeah. So that they can get the iron from it.
Okay. Let's go back to the fortified foods that you talked about. So, we use spices a lot. Some use local, but sometimes we want to use, the ready-made, spices. So that one too, you have to look out for, the ones fortified.
Yes, some of our spices too are fortified with iron. So look out for. So that is why it is important that the average Ghanaian, we should learn to read food label. Sometimes we just see how the container or the package looks, then we are buying package. But we are not really buying the content. So we are throwing money away. How long will it take to just read and see what is there? So Ghanaians should form that habit of reading the food label and shouldn't let just the packaging attract them. Get the best for your money. And in this COVID-19 time that people don't have money. This is the time to be wise when you are shopping. To read food labels and select the best to feed the family, to boost their immune system.
Even oils that we use and everything.
They are fortified. Some of our flours too are fortified. So we should go for those ones to help us boost our immune system and also to
what's the extreme effect or impact of iron deficiency?
Yes, iron deficiency, one becomes, assuming you are the family head, every time you are complaining, you have headaches, so you are not going to work. Of course, in this time that we have private institutions and so forth, they will just sack you.
Of course.
And when they sack you and you are the breadwinner for the family, it triggers effect. The family cannot feed well. So economics is down. The children's fees cannot be paid. Of
Your
course, you will
education
not
suffer.
eat well. Yeah, so it will be a ripple effect. Everybody in the family will suffer from some sort of malnutrition. Their health will go down, you know, and then if we don't take it, it becomes a psychological issue. Because even it will affect the brain. The man will not be thinking properly and so forth, yeah.
And it can affect the sex.
Oh, yes, and of course, once he's even worried, that alone, you know, something...
Prof, when I got to the sex, the energy you got, the energy came up.
Yes, because it's
energy.
causing a lot of problems in families, you know.
Yeah.
It's causing a lot of problems in families. And to be honest with you, I had a chat, some media training with Nigeria. And after that, some of the media people were calling me, and it was that. I told them the food, go for greens. You people, I know you Nigerians like a lot of greens. Go for the greens. Eat a lot of beans. They are happy now. They're happy guys in their marriage.
They're happy in their marriages.
Yes. So it's just iron. Simple thing that we don't respect. Yeah.
Amazing.
So the egg is good.
The eggs is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not Willie, the men.
My crew. Not Willie, eggs, fish, meat.
Yes.
That's what is important. Eat fruits, you
Yes.
know. And then we touched about the general symptoms of iron deficiency, the tiredness, the headache, the dizziness. In pregnant women, I mean, in the extreme part, it can lead to maternal mortality.
Exactly. And the mortality can affect anybody, because if it is a man and he's also not eating well, it can also affect him. It can affect everybody along the stages of life. So no, it is not a friend of anybody.
It can cause death.
It can cause death, yes. The last stage is death.
Yes.
The last stage is death. Because you don't have enough blood, nothing can go anywhere. So the end result will be, and sometimes when it is seen earlier and it's very low, then they will do transfusion, you know. So sometimes some of the gone too soon is because of that, yes.
Yeah.
Because you see the person so pale.
Yeah. Because there's some people who are, you know, of course, there are the iron medications given to people, but then you ask yourself, I mean, why wait till you get there when there's actually a preventive method where you can eat your good. But of course, if you've been diagnosed of being iron deficient and you've been given iron tablet, you need to take it.
That is why it is a law in Ghana. Every pregnant woman, once you visit the hospital, you are given iron tablets and folic acid. It is a rule, you know. And one thing too, when it comes to going to buy the iron tablet, we've realized that sometimes the women don't have enough money. For example, if it is only 5 cedis or 10 cedis that she has, and then you ask her to go and buy the medicine, she's thinking of feeding the family. You know, as women, oh, my children have to eat. Why should I use the money to buy? So it is important that we let them know the foods to buy. So dietary approaches are the best, not medicine. That should be the last resort, that we use supplement. But dietary approach is the best.
Prof, this has been very, very revealing. Thank you very much. But in conclusion, what's your message to Ghanaians, especially women, when it comes to living strong with iron?
Yeah. We need, as women, we are in charge of the food for the family. Iron deficiency, anemia affects everybody in the family. It is no respecter of anybody. It can affect the woman, it can affect the 2-year-old child, it can affect the 18-year-old child, and so forth. So we need to make sure that we eat a lot of iron-rich foods, which I've mentioned, all our green leafy vegetables, all our legumes, beans, they're important. And for them to work properly, we need to have protein in addition. That is why we also need to have fish or meat and eggs. And most importantly, the children who are growing, they need a lot of that, and then the protein. So we should give them that and stop giving them willy. Give them the protein foods and then also the green leafy vegetables, so that their brains will also be strong enough and they'll be performing better in school. And when we buy the foods and we get home, we should wash them, because food safety is key. Because if we don't wash them and we use them, infection can come in. And I said earlier on that the microorganisms, they also compete with us for the iron. So we should try as much as possible to wash our things. Hand washing. So I'm happy there's hand washing. So that's a good side of COVID-19. Yes.
The hand washing.
Yes.
Now we both touched on the living strong with, you know, iron. Can you elaborate a bit more about it? What is this campaign about and what is it targeted in achieving?
Yeah, it is. The living strong with iron is to let Ghanaians become aware that most of the maternal mortality and then our children also not performing well in school is nothing but due to iron deficiency. And some of the gone too soon is due to iron deficiency. So Ghanaians should be aware of the situation. And as I said, we are above the public health threshold, and this is skewed towards women of childbearing age. But it doesn't mean that men don't. Men are also anemic. We've done men study, and we've seen quite a number of them being anemic. And we should also remember that because in our culture, the man is the head of the family, although now we have some women as head of the family.
Yeah.
When the man is down, know that it's going to be a rippling effect that will affect almost every activity in the household. If it's a woman who is the household head, the same thing is going to happen. So we should make sure we select iron-rich foods, and then also try as much as possible to apply the principles of food safety, hand washing, washing our fruits and vegetables when we come home. And whatever we eat, we should make conscious effort also to eat a lot of fruits in addition. And then instead of drinking the fizzy drinks, drink water.
Drink
water. Water is the key.
Water is the key. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you so much. One of these, I think I would love to invite you to come and talk about, food allergies.
Thank you.
Food allergies on this program. It's something that Ghanaians also, most of us don't know about. We take for granted the kind of foods that we react to or are harmful to our body types and our blood types and everything. That can be also quite revealing. But as for iron, it has no side effect. It has positive effects.
We are not
on
having
us.
it. And if you are taking from the food, it's safer than
safer.
taking medicine. Because when you are taking medicine, it is too much, it can also affect the liver. Yeah. So from food is the best. Food is the best.
Thank you very much. So a word to the wise is in the iron. Live strong with iron. I'll be back with a bit of me. I believe that there are 3 things you need to be successful. 3 basic things. 1, basic but very important. 1, to be alive. 2, to be healthy. 3, to be strong. Once you have these 3, everything and anything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. So all you need to do to be alive, to be healthy, and to be strong, you need to do it. To be healthy, you know what to do. Eat right. Don't let us just live to eat, but eat to live. We must watch the things we eat. We must exercise. We must make deliberate effort. Now we know that most of us are deficient when it comes to iron. We are suffering from iron deficiency. We live in a society where I keep saying that we are such peace-loving hypocrites, Every woman must have a child. But what she needs to eat, what she needs to drink, we don't care. And people will push things on you. Nobody will hold your hand and tell you, no, you need to do this and that. People don't have time. Everybody is busy these days. So, my dear woman, you need to find out things for yourself. You need to make that deliberate effort to be healthy. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, yes, a bit of carbohydrates. We are talking about how to live strong with iron. The things around us, we've heard it. The dawa, the agushi, the beans, the boko, the kontomire, the ademe, all the dark green leaves. Or the vegetables that we need, they're around us. Even the white people that we are trying so hard to copy are now coming for what we have. Haven't you seen it on social media? How they are packaging our things, our traditional foods, and branding them and selling them, and we are running away from it. Woman, when you are not there, everything goes wayward. Everything. Even when you are alive, you are struggling to keep the family together. How much more when you are not there? Eat right. Make sure your family eats right. This is a women's program, but you, the man, now you know. to be sexually, I know for men, when it comes to men, sexual prowess, to be strong and to be able to perform, yeah, you boast about it. Instead of, not performing at home and going to the side chicks who will give you all the accolades when you know that you are not performing, eat right. Get iron and get energy. Perform at home and get the accolades from your home and be called the king and all the names that you want to be called. But bottom line, listen, people, we need to eat right. We need to get iron in our system. We need to stop maternal mortality, infant mortality. We need to help our young ones who are suffering in class because they lack iron. Get more information. And this is a campaign that is going for the next 3 months. It will be on radio. It will be on TV. Make sure you tune in and you catch up and you read up on social media, in the newspapers, in the news, and get abreast with what is going on. You need iron, woman. You need iron, man. You need iron, children. Whatever you do, just stay alive for me. Stay healthy for me and stay strong. Avoid the headaches. Ladies, sometimes the headaches that we tell the men when they are coming and, I have a headache. Sometimes we truly have a headache, but it could be iron deficiency. They think we are just making excuses. Sometimes we are tired. We are really tired. They think we are making excuses, but we are really tired. But maybe we lack iron. And so when we do the right thing, we eat right. We eat our fruit. Don't forget our fruit with vitamin C, orange, pineapple, and all those that we have around. Some of them are seasonal, but when they come, we need to stock up on them. It's better, today we know, to eat from source than to take the tablet. But of course, when it becomes necessary to take the tablet, we need to take it. If we need to take the medication, we need to take it. When you're pregnant, you go to the hospital, you're giving medication, please, your iron tablets, take them. Your vitamin C, take them. Your folic acid, take them to stay alive. I remain a woman with super crazy faith in God, but I believe God has given us wisdom. Let's apply it. Whatever you do, please live strong with iron. See you same time next week. Bye for now.